This is why we associate. All right. And when we talk about empowering, this is where the keys are given, right? You can be in the car, but you may not be the one driving. Okay. I was in that for a long time. I worked for someone else. They told me how much I was worth. They told me how much was going to be on my paycheck, how many hours I had to work for it. This opportunity, and especially within this agency, you're handed the keys. I truly believe that through the system, through the mentorship, through everything that's provided here from Symmetry. All right. So when we talk about empowering, we are striving to cultivate leaders who take ownership for their success, right? The keys are hanging by the back door. Go grab them and get in the car and drive. That's what Symmetry does for you, okay? And our agency is a platform for those agents to achieve financial success and personal freedom. So, guys, with that mission statement, our vision for this, right, again, is to help 100 families set themselves free. So we're gonna have to do a lot of these calls. We're gonna train a lot on systems, on process, on mindset, and we're gonna be in a different place this time next year, guys. All right, we're gonna be in a way different place. So let me share my screen. We're gonna introduce everyone to our leaders yet again, the people that really make the magic happen here. Can you guys see my screen okay? Yep, cool. All right. Kellen, that's awesome. Kellen put a birthday hat on my head. What a sweetheart. All right, these are the people that fuel the vision right now, along with every other one of you that have been writing apps, have been running interviews, growing your agency. Guys, structure is important here. Knowing who is building and who's producing at the same time, knowing who's showing up for leadership. This screen is near and dear to my heart, but it also has a lot of room. Has a lot of room. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to see yourself on this screen sometime within the next year. That means that you're a team leader, a key leader, or an agency owner. All right. I believe in every single one of you who are putting 1s in the chat right now. I believe you guys. Let's do it. All right. We've got 4 pillars to building a successful agency. Number 1 is personal production. We talk about it a lot, guys. Writing 5K minimum weeks, at 10, 5 to 10K on your own pen, right? That's not including resets or anything like that. That's you helping out families every single week, setting your 16 to 20 appointments if you're full time. Okay. 5K weeks will fuel your agency for future growth, right? Once you can handle your monthly bills and all the other things that life throws at you, and you have extra to pour back into your business, that's why we write 5K weeks, so that we can fuel the vision that you have for your agency. Recruiting, what it looks like is, you could call it 20 interviews, you can call it 5 onboarded agents a week. That's typically what it takes to get 5. I run about 20 interviews. For the ones that show up, I may hire a couple of them and send out 5 onboarding emails. All right. Those are the 2 buckets. We're going to talk about that on the next page, but those are the 2 buckets that we're focused on. Personal development, one of my absolute most favorite areas of building a successful agency, because like we talked about with Wilbur here just a second ago, you got to grow your battery big enough for others to plug into. Okay. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about this today. Right? As we prep for the future, as we're laying this new foundation with the builders and leaders call, our goal is to build leaders, right? We got to know what's coming in the future. If you want to grow your agency, you got to grow yourself first. That's the most important thing. And it's kind of a topic that you never arrive at. So there's levels to the game of growth, but it's an area that you'll never fully arrive, which I love, because you can continue your pursuit against it no matter what level you're at in the business. Okay. So learning through books and podcasts, attending corporate events, attending conference calls, you guys being here today on camera, in the chat, engaged, super valuable for your agency and your future growth. And then agency development, what that looks like is training, building relationships. Like Rod was talking about earlier, he's built a relationship with Wilbur where Wilbur will get back to him anytime he sends him a text message and asks a question. Okay, those types of associations take your business further. Steven mentioned it too. He's like, hey, anytime I have a question, someone on this team is helping me out. So that is important. Building relationships is the catalyst for that, right? And then working with people who are working. What do? We show up in the virtual office. I see a lot of agents that are on the leaderboards every single week. Those are the ones that are in the virtual office. leaning on each other, working together, running after something together. So feel free to take a screenshot of this anytime I show it. We'll go over this pretty much weekly on this call. We talk about the 20 appointments, 20 interviews buckets. Okay, this is really, when you talk about business in a box, this is what it is. That's the only thing you have to focus on when you're new is striving for these numbers, right? I want to set my 20 appointments. For me personally, that took a lot more time early on. Okay, but as I grew my skill set, that took me about 20 hours throughout the week. Once I was a couple months into this, setting my 20 appointments took me about 20 hours for the week, but I knew I was a full-time agent growing a business, not just a full-time life insurance salesperson. Okay, so I started to make room for the other bucket, which was bringing on new agents, recruiting. Okay, cold market or warm market, however you want to do it. If you want to grow your agency, you got to do one or you got to do both, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit today too. Agency submit production. This is month to date for April. We're a week and 3 days in. Let's see how we're doing. Total agency submit so far is 64,000, 51 applications. Put a 2 in the chat if you've written an application so far this month. Put a 2 in the chat. We celebrate you. New riders, or I'm sorry, total riders 25, new riders 4. Diaz Bay Shop 4138 for the month with 3 apps. The Schnitzer Bay Shop 15147 in production with 16 apps, 10 riders, 3 new. Mitru Bay Shop had a killer week last week. Look at that, 21,356, 9 apps, 4 riders. In the Granzer Bay Shop, 23,968 with 23 applications, 10 riders, and 1 new rider. That's a lot of applications, Bob. That is a lot of applications for a week. I bet you guys could double that, though. You guys are doing great. This is Road to Ownership for April so far. So by the end of the month, this board is typically pretty large because a lot of people get involved in writing business. Throughout the first week, we had 4 leaders on our team that are striving for agency owner, have a writer within their team write business, and they personally wrote a policy. So to make it on this board, you got to be a writer with a writer. If you don't know what that means, you're in the right place. All right. Team Hadley, 1652, 3 apps, 3 riders. Sarah is a team leader. Team Smith, Wilbur's a key leader at 8363, 8 apps, 4 riders. Wilbur's on his 3rd month of agency owner right now. He's running, so continue to encourage him and pour into him, along with these other leaders that are building something special. Team Greenwood, happy birthday, Maria. 12,117 in production, 12 apps, 3 riders. They are team leaders and taking the cake for the road to ownership. Team last week was Team Goldsmith. The Goldsmiths are team leaders. They're at 13,646, 13 apps, and 4 riders. Great job, y'all. Yeah, we'll give it up for them. Little golf clap. Good job, guys. Little golf clap. Never hurt. Engage is coming up. Guys, if you're a planner, like my wife, you're going to want to put this on your calendar now and start planning for it. They've got hotel blocks and discounts for you guys. The hotel that they recommend is definitely the one that you want to stay at because it's right across the street from the convention center and you can walk everywhere. You'll see in the lobby hundreds of life insurance agents from Symmetry, a lot of builders, a lot of leaders in that room. So you'll want to be close to all the excitement. But that's coming up August 13th through 15th. Okay, especially if you're a future focused kind of person, you're probably wanting to book those plane tickets sooner than later and save yourself a couple dollars. To be able to save money on your conference ticket, your admission ticket, you can get a $60 discount. Just scan the QR on this page. Use your base shop discount code. Can't be more clear about that. Do not use my base shop code if you are direct to Giovanna. Do not use Wilbur's base shop code if you are direct to Bob. Okay? So make sure you use the right discount code. Get yourself $60 off. And the reason for that is because we get our attendance lists once you sign up for those. Okay? So we want to make sure the numbers are looking right. Get to conference. Convince yourself to go there one time. You'll never have to convince yourself to go again. I promise you that. All right. Do whatever it takes to get there. If you can't afford to go, if you're sitting here and you're like, plane tickets sound expensive, rooms sound expensive. Well, we've had agents go 5 to a room before. I think Sarah Hadley had 13 people in in her room last year. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Three. So partner up with a few people. If you're a male looking for a roommate, we'll partner with you with another male from the team. Like we'll get in the chats and we'll find you a roommate. Okay, no worries. So get yourself there. If you can't afford it right now, you can't afford not to go. Okay? If you can't afford it, you can't afford not to go. Promise you that. Recruiting platform. We've actually already had we've closed off signups for April, but I'm gonna leave this up for you guys starting in May. If you'd like to get on the master agency recruiting platform, you can do so. It's $300 a month. All you have to worry about is showing up to first interviews and then plugging them in to the system. You don't have to worry about placing the ad or figuring out where to go to place ads. You don't have to manage applicants. All you have to do is show up to the first interview and follow the game plan there. This is a round robin system. It's month by month. So if this is something you want to get into for May, start planning for that. You can use this QR code to let Kate know that you are interested. We have a corporate overview coming up on Wednesday. G, you ready? We're doing this one, right?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, cool. I'll promise not to cancel on you last minute again this time. I got it. I got it in my calendar.
Thank God you blocked.
Unless Kate goes into labor on Wednesday.
And if she does, we got Bob Granser killed it last time.
All right, Bob did it last time. Okay, cool. Love it. Yeah, that's right. If anyone wants to do a corporate overview with G when we go into labor, let me know. But we should be good for this one. Okay, maybe next month we'll have to find somebody to rock it with you. It's kind of like right now is kind of weird in my house. There's like this energy that Christmas is tomorrow and then it keeps getting pushed back another day and another day and another day. It's weird. Having kids is weird. All right, this is your live dial schedule for the week. Rod was dialing this morning. He wasn't on the calendar. I know a lot of people just pop in there and dial. Try to sign up for time slots so that when we host this call on Mondays, I'm sure there's a bunch of new agents here that want to know when they can plan around that so that they can listen to you guys dial. So get in there and sign up for live dial schedule. I'll challenge everyone that was on that very first slide, everyone that had, well, you all are leaders, but everyone that's team leader and above to grab yourself an hour time slot this week. Do it. Just get back in the game. Okay. Get back in the game on this. Sarah, you're good. I know you're going to probably jump in here too. All right. That should be it. Let's go. Let me stop sharing my screen here. Giovanna, why are the corporate overviews helpful for folks? What do we do on those calls?
We not only share the basics of what symmetry is all about, but I think it just gives people a bigger picture and the vision of what's possible for them. And I just think that they get to see other people, because sometimes we have agents on, and I just love at the end we allow everyone to unmute and ask questions. And that really shows new people that not only anything is possible, but that they can, take part in what we're doing here and that they can change their lives. So I love that open floor forum that we've created at the end. It just really shows them the culture of who we are as a team and why they want to be part of our team.
Yeah, it's good. We do a kind of an open forum at the end, but the beginning of it's a slideshow. We go through slides about income, compensation, how to grow an agency, what the income looks like if you grow an agency. So I would say if anyone's tuning into this call today, you're a builder and a producer. If you haven't been on one of those corporate overviews, feel free to join us on Wednesday. We love having current team members on those calls, and who knows, maybe you've been here for a year and you need to get fired up again. Giovanna and I shotgun 2 Red Bulls each before that call, it seems like, because we come in full of energy. So if you need to get re-energized, feel free to come to that call and get some people on there. We always like new people coming in and asking questions, and it's going to be a good one. So we started this builders call a couple weeks back, and I want to provide some value for you guys today. We're going to start having some guests show up on these calls. Kate and I wanted to make sure that we laid the foundation the correct way before we start giving time to other leaders on Monday call. So this may be the last time you guys hear from me for a couple weeks, maybe for the next month, depending on when the baby comes. But We're going to have some good guests for you guys, some good content that'll help you grow your agency. But today I just want to, give you guys some groundwork for what it takes to build an agency. We talk a lot about growing personally, personal development, being on a mission to grow yourself. So I really think that's what this is all about at the core. And when you grow yourself, people want to get around you. Would you guys agree with me? When you're going places, people want to jump on that vision. So it's been important for Kate and I to lay that foundation for you guys. Today, when Kate asked me, she's like, "What are you going to speak about on the team call today?" I was like, "Oh, it's going to be very Danny Young-esque, very, very Danny Young-esque." So if you guys recognize some of the terminology I'm using, it's because I spent a lot of time with the guy. Spent a lot of time with him. I never missed one of his Sunday night calls. But early on in the business, our second conference, um, I met Danny, and he probably had no idea who I was. I went up and talked to him, introduced myself. He uh, he made some funny jokes in Danny Young style, as he always does, right? He asked me why I didn't take Kate's last name because she was obviously the stronger player in the couple, in the relationship. So, he cracked some jokes, and he really took it an investment into us from that day forward. He lived about 45 minutes away from us. We got invited out to dinner with him, which of course Kate and I were brand new agents. We're at an 80% contract level, and we're like, why does this guy want to have dinner with us? He's got a $35 million a year agency. Like, why is he investing into us and wanting us to go out to dinner with him? So we delayed about 6 months, and then after he asked again, we took him up on that offer and went out to a bunch of dinners together. So I've got a lot of his teachings just ingrained in my brain. A lot of you have heard this stuff before, but I think it's so important as a foundation for when you grow, that the main thing that he talks about every single weekend, week in and week out, is how you can grow yourself as a leader. All right. Because when you do, you figure out the other stuff. So we talk a lot about why build. Why would we build an agency here? And Danny gives 3 good reasons that I'm going to give to you guys today. So if you're taking notes, wait till we get to the end here because we're going to talk about the hard stuff. Okay. You can write these things down just so you can remember, like, this was something that I planned for. This is something that I was ready for. And this is something I took an investment in and grew myself to accomplish. So number one, why would we build? I think we talk about this all the time, but it's time freedom, right? You build an agency for time freedom. Every time one of your agents sells a policy, you get an override commission. All right. So when you're first starting out, that could be a 10% override that pays for your lead budget. Once you grow bigger, that could pay for your lead budget and an admin assistant. All right. But we grow for time freedom. Every time Kate and I leveled up in the passive income department, I didn't just take it for personal income. I thought to myself, how can I pour this back into the business to grow our systems and to grow our support system? All right. So whether it was technology or hiring a new employee, every time we leveled up, I thought, how can we pour this back into the business to give us more time? Jim Larson told me about a year ago, he said, Scott, if your business can't run without you, you don't have a business, you have a job. Okay. So when we talk about being builders, it's a job up front, it's a hustle, it's a grind, right? But if you're building and building and building for years and years and years, and you can never step away from the business, you have a job, right? That requires you to be there all the time. So why do we build? It gives you time freedom. We only have 168 hours in the week personally. Okay. But between the 60 people on this call, let's see how many hours we have throughout the week to grow this agency. We have about 10,000 hours. So would you guys agree? Give me a thumbs up. Are we stronger in numbers? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're stronger in quality, but we're first and foremost stronger in numbers. New writers are the lifeblood of your business. Okay, so we build because we want time freedom. Number two, it's the only way to bulletproof yourself. Okay, it's the only way to bulletproof yourself. And that means that your time is not, or your income is not tied to your feet. Your income's not tied to your feet. I talked to you guys a couple weeks back about my February. It was absolutely nuts. Yeah, February. It was absolutely nuts for many reasons. I was traveling for business. We went to Ignite. Had a bunch of different trips that I had to take, was out of the business 22 out of 28 days. Okay. That month, finally, at this point in the business, it didn't happen that way year one or year two, but that month, finally, at this time in the business, my income was not tied to my feet. I didn't have to run 15 appointments while I was taking care of life. All right. I sat in my dad's hospital room. He had 7 stents put in. Sorry, 7 bypasses in February, and I sat in his hospital room with him for a couple days. Got to get a workout in with Stephen Jung. I took a break from the hospital room for an hour or two. But I was there and not worrying about writing a policy because my income is not tied to my feet. And that was what Danny told us early on. He said, build this thing big enough that it doesn't rely on you to provide the income for the business that you're growing. Okay, so that goes back into number one. Building gives you time freedom. It also bulletproofs yourself. All right. When life happens, when you have to step away from the business for a few days or a few weeks, the hard things happen, you can still have income coming in. I think that's a huge blessing. Okay, put a 4 in the chat if you think it would be a blessing to get to be more present in life and have your income still coming in. Okay, so that's why we build. All right, number 3. All right, I got to use a different number here. Put a 5 in the comments if you came here to make big money. Like if you wanted to make really good money. Okay? I know not everyone like is super motivated by money, so I know a few of you this doesn't get you going. But it gets me going big time. I want to have a really high level of income because I want to be able to give back, not just money, but also time. I want to be able to give back. Okay? If you look at my 10-year vision board, there are several things financial like related to finances that I want to be able to accomplish so that we can do things for other people, so that we can give back and not think about how much is left in the bank account. All right. So if you want to make big money, commissions, overrides, capital bonuses, equity bonuses, producer bonuses, you gotta grow your agency. You gotta build. Okay. We have agents within this company that make $400,000 or $500,000 a year and they don't have a team. Guess what they have to do every single year to be able to make that type of money? The same amount of work. The same amount of work. If they wrote 400,000 in premium, they probably worked with about 300 clients that year. That means that next year, if they want to make that again, they'd have to work with another 300 clients year after year after year. And the moment they stop, they don't make that income anymore. I had a buddy, he's in the coaching group that I'm a part of outside of the business, and he's in real estate. And he said, Scott, he's like, if I could go back in time and start any business, I would have done life insurance. And if I could rewrite the script, I would have built an agency for myself because my family makes a really good income. Like they're used to making over $500,000, $600,000 a year from real estate. He said, my family's been able to make a really big income, but it's become a burden on me because the market's getting tougher and I have to sell the same amount of houses this year as I did last year. And it's a whole lot tougher this year. All right. So that goes back to bulletproofing yourself and that goes back to giving yourself time freedom. The only way to make big money long term is to grow a business, is to grow an agency. So how do we build? Giovanna, I think we're similar on this. Venus, Bob, I think we all do things pretty much the same way here. Okay. A little bit different, but pretty much the same way. We build by sharing this opportunity. I'm going to break this down very simply for you guys, and I'll give you a tactic to go to take away from this call that you can start implementing this week. We share the opportunity. All right. Whether we're on a cold market interview or we're posting on social media or I'm sending a warm market text out to someone in my contact list, we share what we do, that we love it, and that we're hiring. It's very simple. This is a way that you can go grow your agency right now. You don't have to pay for recruiting to be able to do this. Number one, how you build is you share what you do, that you love it, and that you're hiring. Listen to all the gratitude that happened at the beginning of this call. Wouldn't you like to invite someone into an environment like that? I think that they could thrive here, right? Look at the systems we have. Look at the team culture we have. I think that people can thrive here. So I just need to be able to tell them what I do, that I love it, and that I'm hiring. so many of your friends, so many of the people that you know through the different communities that you're in would jump all over this. Okay. I'll give you another Danny Youngism since that was the essence of today's call. But do you guys know the sin of the desert? I bet Bert Wright is the only one that's going to know the answer to this. Do you guys know the sin of the desert? It's not telling someone where the water is. Okay. So you guys know families that would jump all over an opportunity like this. You just have to tell them what you do, that you love it, and that you're hiring. Number two, this is how, like, we're going to go another layer deeper. Okay. Number one is finding people. Number two is identifying people that share the same vision. Because we're going to hire some people, unfortunately, that aren't going to catch the vision and they're not going to run with us. And that's okay. All right. Not everyone's going to take this opportunity and go to the moon with it. Okay. What we are looking for is we're looking for leaders that have the same vision and we want to grow with and through them. All right. My number one goal when I get a new agent on the team is to get them a couple agents underneath them so that they can start feeling what it feels like to grow a business here. When you get your first override commission, put a 6 in the comments if you remember your first override commission. You start feeling a certain way. You're like, oh, that's what it feels like. All right. My first override commissions were like $95 here or there, $125 here and there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe someone sold a National Life Group policy. So I got like a $13 override here or there. Right. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Okay. But the override commission, it fuels you in a different way. So I would say while you're figuring out the suck of being a new agent, because we all know the first 90 days, you're getting hit with a lot. Like it's a lot of learning. In your first 90 days, if you could catch an override commission and really feel what it looks like to grow your agency, that is going to fuel you to the next level. And how cool would it be? Hey, Zeus, this is what fires me up. Dude, that was almost 4 years ago that this happened, 3.5 years ago. Now you're super plugged in. Don't apologize for being absent. You wrote 2,200 over the weekend and you've got 5 agents in pre-licensing right now. You decided recently that you were going to turn it on. How cool is that? Right? So when you find people like Jesus, it may not be their time right away, and it may not be for them right away. When I got recruited by Ashley and Tyler, it took me 15 months to come on board full time after they recruited me. All right. But what they were doing in the meantime is they were identifying other leaders that they can run and build with. All right. So that's why you need people to catch the vision early on of what it feels like to make an override commission and then to start developing those people as leaders and let them feel what Symmetry has to offer as well. So if you do not on this team, if you everyone who can hear my voice right now, if you don't have an agent underneath you on your team right now that's writing business, let's focus on that first. Go find one. All right. There's people in your circle that need this. Share what you do, share that you love it, share that we're hiring. The systems will do the rest. You guys have gotten the automated text messages. It's easy for someone to sign up for pre-licensing these days. They're going to be texted about it every single day for like the first 15 days. So that our systems will make it easy for you. But I want you guys to think about this too. Let's see here. Cameron, you have sons. Let's talk. Unmute for me. Give you guys an analogy here.
Yeah,
All
what's
right,
up?
so you have sons. What happens if you had all daughters to your family name?
Goes away.
Goes away. Okay, it happens. Every couple of generations that happens. But you have sons. So what happens if they decide to have children? What happens to your family name?
It lives on.
It lives on. All right. Your agency also lives on when you recruit people in new members that are coming onto your team, also find people for their team. All right. So this goes back to number two of growing with and through people, right? When you find someone and they hire somebody underneath them and they start catching the vision, they start building their agency, and that person gets fired up to go build their passive income, you now have grandchildren in this business. There are people on this screen I spend time with every single day who are 7 people away from me in terms of hierarchy. Imagine if one of those people would have stopped building or stopped recruiting in their pipeline. I want to get to work with people like, I think Bob Greenwood, 7 people away from me. I work with that man every single day of the week. All right. So That's why we want to build and find people that also want to build and catch on this vision, because you'll have grandchildren. Your agency will live on. This business gets to a certain point eventually. I hope this fires you all up. I really pray that this is something that you guys get to experience. Your agency will get to a certain point someday where you absolutely just can't slow it down. Nothing you can do would change the growth of your business because you found enough good people. How cool would that be? That you couldn't slow it down if you tried. All right. That's what I want for you guys. Where you take a month off to go travel with your family. I know that seems maybe impossible for some of you right now. That's possible here. Take a month off with your family, your business keeps growing. How crazy would that be? That's the symmetry opportunity. So that's number two. You got to go find grandchildren. When you get a new agent on board, help them find somebody so that they can start experiencing overrides. Okay. Number three, spend time with people that are moving. Spend time with people that are moving. I want to go back to the example of when I got recruited. Okay. It took me 15 months to come on board full time. If Tyler and Ashley would have spent a ton of time on me, talking to me every day, wondering where I'm at when I wasn't on a team call, wondering why I wasn't buying leads, they would have wasted a whole lot of time. Okay. Your people will identify themselves by the way that they move when they come on board. They will identify themselves. I'll show you 3 ways that they identify themselves. They ask a lot of questions. They show up on team calls on camera. They're super engaged. They're taking notes, and they're in the virtual office when they're working. That's how players identify themselves, because they want growth so bad that they're willing to do anything to get it, and they know where the well is. They know where to go to get help. So they're there. That's how they identify themselves. So run with those people, okay? If you have someone that comes on board and they take 15 months to say, "Hey, I'm ready to go do this," they're going to be awesome too. Just don't spend the time with them while they're figuring this out and maybe working another job full time. All right? Get them what they need, get them into team calls. Once they catch the vision and they're ready to run, you'll see the movement. Okay? Mentor movement. That's number 3. Spend time on your people that are moving. All right? I was talking to Danny one day. If you were at conference last year, you heard this story, but I joke with this guy all the time. Danny's 78, maybe 79. Courtney, help me out here. 78, 79?
He just turned 78, sorry.
Okay, so Danny's 78. He runs a $30 million plus a year business. The guy has more energy than any of you. Okay. He just does. It's insane. But like there's a little bit of an age gap between me and Danny, right? And so I joke with him and I joke with him about that all the time. But one day he wasn't in a joking mood and he actually gave me some really good feedback. So I was talking to him one day and I was like, Danny, I was like, my agency is gonna grow way bigger than yours, bro. It's gonna grow massive. I've got way more time than you. And he looked me back in the eyes and he said, no, you don't. No, you don't. You're not even promised tomorrow. Why would you wait till tomorrow to build? Okay, and I was in a production phase at that point. I was in the thick of it. I was trying to figure this thing out, and he's like, go all in, build your agency now. What we hear from a lot of people when they start, and guys, you're getting this content on a call like today, because this is really the mindset that we need to have when we're new agents coming in here. Get in the mindset that you are not promised next year. Okay, get in that mindset, because especially like as a brand new agent, what we hear so often, what do we hear, Giovanna? I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna figure out sales, I'm gonna figure out like all the different carriers and all the different options, and then I'm gonna start building my agency someday. Why wait? Have a sense of urgency. Have a sense of urgency, guys. This opportunity is here for you, but we know like every good opportunity, it can come and go the next day. You never know. So don't be as foolish as I was telling Danny, hey, someday I'm gonna turn it on. Because I've seen a lot of people wait to turn it on and they lost motivation. And then we stopped seeing them on team calls. And then we stopped seeing them in the virtual office. And all of a sudden, I didn't get a text back from them. But they came in here with all these dreams to grow passive income and to grow this agency for their family, but they just never did. Okay. So couple things here I want you guys to leave with is just a strategy. If you're not paying for recruiting right now, to be able to start building your agency. But think about that, guys. Why wait? Why would you wait? All right. So we have two different ways that we build. And Giovanna, if there's like 2 minutes left on this, maybe you can chime in because I know you've done a good job with warm market. Two different ways that we build. One of them is cold market recruiting and placing ads on LinkedIn or ZipRecruiter, different hiring websites like that. But one way that I started building early on, because I didn't have the income yet for cold market recruiting, is I started building warm market. Okay. So if you're looking to go start your agency, this is a strategy for you. If you're already doing cold market, don't forget about your warm market. It's extremely powerful. What I did is I built a chicken list. I always had about 50 people saved in a note in my phone that I thought maybe they were crushing it in another business, or maybe I just thought that they would be awesome to work with. But I kept a list of 50 people in my phone, and I would keep that number at 50, but I would send out text messages from that list. And whenever I had a conversation with somebody, I would take them off, and I would follow up with them every once in a while, send them a text message, let them know that I had a video that they can watch, or let them know that they would crush it here if they wanted to chat more. But the first text message reach out that I would do, it would sound something like this. Hey, Sarah, this is Scott. I didn't have to say this is Scott if they're like super warm market, but hey, Sarah, my company is hiring nationwide right now, and I wanted to reach out and see if you knew anyone that was looking for a remote work with a high income potential. If you can think of anybody, let me know. I'm attaching a 3-minute video that'll explain this opportunity a little bit further. Sarah, what would you say if I sent you that message? Or what would you think?
I would probably think about a couple of my friends to send to you, but I would also watch it before I did that.
Yep. I think the psychology of the text, most of us are thinking, hey, maybe they'll give us a few referrals. What happens most of the time is that when you send that directly to people on your chicken list, they're the ones that watch the video, and they're the ones that respond and say, hey, we should chat more. Yeah, Courtney. Yeah, same here. They may not respond, but a couple months later, they may say, oh, I've seen Scott, his posts on Facebook or Instagram. It sounds like they work for a really cool business. I remember when he texted me, a while back. I'm going to go back and revisit that. So I want to make sure everyone's seen this video. We're going to end here. It's a 3-minute video. We're going to share it. This is what I send to every potential recruit. Let me get past the ad real quick here. Giovanna, do you want to add anything to that for warm market?
$63,000 No, other than just don't prejudge people. You don't know who this business is for, guys. You don't know the 4 walls people are living in or the struggles they're going through. Just because they're posting on social media, all these great things, might be suffering in the background, and they are looking for extra income, maybe more purpose, maybe something that they feel alone. And we can give all of that back to them here.
All right, let's check it out. Good point.
Symmetry Financial Group has revolutionized the way insurance is sold. We believe that for success to be worth it, agents should be able to earn an excellent income while having the time to enjoy it. A career with Symmetry Financial Group can help you build a business with the opportunity for true ownership, freedom lifestyle, and financial legacy. So how does Symmetry help agents achieve this? Our remote nationwide agent force can plug into our turnkey system that takes the idea of virtual sales to a whole new level. Powered by a proprietary automation platform, robust back-end support, and step-by-step mentorship and training, Symmetry provides a proven system that allows you to work from anywhere that fits your work style, full or part-time. Life insurance and retirement solutions make up our core products. For example, mortgage protection would cover a family's mortgage if the person with the primary income passes away. We match our products to interested individuals and families while offering the industry's only value-based leads program. Our value-based leads program, which is designed to maximize your profitability, empowers our agents to spend their time helping families instead of prospecting. The average sale is over $1,200 in annual premium volume, and our contract levels range up to 130% plus bonuses. Most of our products don't require physical exams, so turnaround times on applications and commission payments can be as quick as 24 hours. Part-time agents who issue an average of 6 to 8 policies per month can earn between $50,000 to $75,000 in commissions for the year, plus bonuses. Full-time agents who issue an average of 15 to 20 policies a month can earn between $125,000 to $175,000 in commissions per year, plus bonuses. The Symmetry system also empowers you to build your own agency. Insurance carriers will pay you an override, the difference between your commission percentage and the agents you hire. For example, if you are an agent with a 100% commission level and hire an agent at the starting contract of 80%, the carriers will pay you a 20% override on all business that agent produces. Our top leaders heavily invest in your success. We train, support, and lead coachable individuals who are driven to succeed and embody our core values. We hope that throughout our conversations, it will become clear whether Symmetry Financial Group is where you're supposed to be. Take the first step and connect with us today.
Simple enough. Is that a cool video? You guys like that? Cool. All right. I send that out to a lot of people. And the feedback that I get from it is, yeah, I want to chat more. I want to learn more. Okay. So yeah, great video. I agree. So guys, the main goal of today was just to talk about like why we build early on.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI.
You guys hear that?
I'm going to show you a way to.
What the heck?
I think Rod was watching the video and got an ad.
I was like, who is talking?
I know how that happened.
I want Amazon AI.
That is so funny. I'm like, what is happening right now? Yeah, we just wanted to talk about why we build, why it's so important. You know, like having grandchildren in the business, building an agency that gives you your time back, guys, it's really special. So let's do it together. Don't know when the baby's coming, so if this is the last Monday I see you guys on, that's cool. If not, I'll be here next week and we'll have a guest on. But love each and every one of you. Honored to build with you. That is it for today. So I'll see you guys in the virtual office. Tomorrow we've got casework call at 11 a.m. and reach out if you need anything. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, y'all.